to SE16, PA30, PA40, PA10.7, and so on. Then we completed person action. Then we did enterprise structure, that is company, company code, person area, person sub area. Then we did employee group, employee subgroup, and payroll area. Then we did administrator. Then we started with enterprise 0. Then we touched based on all the fields and the features. Then we went to info type 1. We did the same there as well. Then we did info type 2, that is personal data. We created titles, marital status, religious denomination. So now today we'll start with info type 6. We'll do info type 6 addresses, info type 7 planned working time, info type 8 basic pay, info type 9 bank details, info type 14 recurring payment and deduction, info type 16 that is additional payment, info type 16 that is contract element, info type 19 non task, info type 21 that is family, info type 22 that is education, info type 27 cost, info type 40 that is object on loans, info type 41 date specific, and info type 105 that is communication. After that, we'll touch base on screen modification, dynamic action, and reports, and that's it. So, so what we told you last time, you have to open 3 screens: PA30, SPRO, and P03. 3 screens you have to open. So usually PA30, SPRO, and P03. So PA30 for seeing the employees and the info type, SPRO for doing the configuration, P03 for features.
Yeah. So I should. Hello.
Yeah, Nikita, can you hear?
Yeah. I have already written it.
Yeah. So now we'll open those screens, right? We'll open PA30 screen. We'll open SPRO screen, and we'll open P03 screen. Because remember last time we did like that one, right?
Yeah. So first one is PA30.
Okay. Because here we'll see the info types.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we'll open SPRO. There we'll do the configuration.
Another screen I'll open.
That is another screen you have to open is P03, where we'll see the features.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we'll go to PA30 screen, and we will open any employee, and we'll see from there.
So I'll open it from here only.
Yeah, PA30 is already open. Yeah. So what are screens you have opened? You have opened PA30?
Yeah.
You have opened SPRO?
No.
Okay, just open SPRO then.
So one more screen I'll open?
Yeah, 3 screen I told you, right? PA30, SPRO, features.
Okay. Okay.
Now go to PA30.
Yeah.
Go to the personal number, give a space. There's a space bar, right? Can you play? Mackie, do you have space bar, something like that?
Space bar?
Yeah. How do you? Can you do a space bar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take the first one, 99502. Okay. Double click. So, okay. Now we'll now put info type 6 there. Okay. Now go and display. Okay. So now info type 6 is where you record your addresses for employees.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this you can save various types of address. You can have permanent address, home address, office address, mailing address, and so on. n number of address you can put for yourself. So in this thing, if you see, so there's something called address type. So this field can be configured in the system. Other than that, if you see, other fields are just data entry fields. Okay, cities, postal code, address lines, region,
Yeah.
India, and all those things. So in this, only thing what we configure is called permanent address. Okay, so
Okay.
now we'll go ahead and configure permanent address. Now,
Okay.
please come to SPRO. So where do we go when we do configuration?
Yeah, SPRO.
Yeah. So in SPRO, the usual thing for personal management, personal administration.
Yeah.
In this, you'll see something called personal data, because address is part of your personal data, right?
Yes.
And then you'll find something
Entry.
called addresses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first tab on that is called create address type. So
Create.
we are trying to click on that. So this is what. So if you see, whatever address type is PA30, you can configure those address type. So can you create one address type here?
I'll create new one.
Yeah. Always take new one, or you can copy from existing one, and anything is okay.
Okay. So I create 4. 4 is not there. Okay.
Give any name. Any name.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you have to give a time constraint. You understand the concept of time constraint, right?
Yeah.
So
So
for
here,
address, so you can give yeah, do F4. Yes. Okay. So what kind of time constraint want you to give? 1, 2, 3, Z, anything. Like Z is not for you. So 1, 2, 3, within that you have to give.
so I'll give first one.
Yeah, first one means it will never be getting deleted. So you
Right.
so permanent address is always like that. Okay? Now save it. Create enter. Enter. This is just a warning. If you see yellow means warning.
Yeah. Okay.
Press enter. Whenever you get a warning, you have to press enter. Yeah. Save it in your
Okay.
Now you're created. So now can you go to P30 and you can check whether it's there for you or not. So now you have to refresh the screen. Remember I told you slash in P30 because the system will take some time. Go to addresses again.
So I go to info type, right?
Yeah, anything. You can either go to addresses or you can go to info type. Anything is okay. Now try creating an address. Create one address with what you have done. No. Yeah. So if you see, double click on that. Now enter all the details, start date, end date, and all those things. Whatever the mandatory, just enter that. So start date is mandatory and the city is mandatory.
Okay.
Start date you can put today's date.
Yeah.
This is not mandatory. Only city is mandatory. See the check. Test city. That is the mandatory. Okay. That's it. You can say. Yeah, that's it. You can save it. Okay, enter because this is a warning. Okay. So what we did, we configured address type and then we tested whether the address type is working or not. So this is how the testing is done. Whenever you create something, you can do the testing like this. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So in address, if you see, can you go and display the address again in PA13?
Um,
Yeah.
Info type is
Okay. Okay. So if you see in address, in
it's
address,
showing the initial one. Yeah.
yeah. So that is because that is starting before. Can you click on the
Mm-hmm.
overview? There's something called overview, the third icon. So it will show all the address which you have entered. So what
Okay.
you created is this one. Can you double click on that?
This one, right?
Yeah, yeah, correct. You created that one only, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Click on the glasses on the top, glass icon on the top. Okay. So if you see,
Okay.
this is the address what we created, and this in address field only the thing which we can configure is address type. So address is done for us. Now we'll go to the different info type. That's it, info type 7. Can you go back?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So info type 7 is planned working time. Can you
Mm-hmm.
display or create anything? So no, it's not there. So just create one. So if you see,
Mm.
so in this info type 7, you have work schedule. Work schedule is nothing but it's your shift time. There's something
Yeah.
called time management status, and then
Yeah.
there are some working time details like employment, how much percent, what is the daily, weekly, monthly, annual, and weekdays working hours. So
Mm-hmm.
this is what is planned working time. So this part of configuration will touch when we are doing time management because that is this is linked to time management. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I just wanted to make you feel and look feel of the info type. So this all configuration. So in this we have to configure what is called work schedule. Then we
Mm-hmm.
have to configure the time management status, and other things are just a data entry. And also there is a feature in this, so that will also touch.
Okay.
Okay. So this will do when we are doing time management. Okay.
Okay.
So can you go back now, or just save this record? Just save this record. So if you see, automatically all the things are there because all the things are there because this is part
Mm.
of your work features. Just go back. I guess these values are not configured. When we'll configure,
Yeah.
we'll create those things.
Okay.
Now go to info type 8.
This is 8, right?
No, the bank detail is info type 3. Info type 8 is basic pay.
Yeah, yeah, basically, right.
Click on display if there's a record, otherwise create a record. Can you go back? I guess this person has the record. Can you go back?
Yeah.
Yeah, click on display. I think this person has the record. No,
No.
okay. Go ahead and create it. Okay.
Basically.
So if you see, this is a header where your personal number, name, start date, end date is there. Then there's something
Mm.
called payment type. So that is
Yeah.
basic contract. Then there's called something called pay scale. Remember we discussed pay scale type, pay scale area, pay scale
Mm.
group, and pay scale level. So this is
Yeah.
that part. Then we have
Mm-hmm.
something called utilization capacity. So that is again. So if you see further information, this is linked to info type 7. So interview question can come like this. So for
Mm-hmm.
any record, you need to create info type 7 first, then you can create info type 8.
Okay.
Okay. So always when you are creating info type, the info type 7 is the first info type which you create, then you create info type 8. Otherwise, why? Because if you see the further information, This is all picked from info type 7.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now we come to something called wage types. So wage type is nothing but how the payment is done in SAP. And if you see the payment, the wage type. So wage type can be your basic salary, your HRA, your additional allowance, and so on. So wage type will configure in payroll, and then we'll
Okay.
do this part. Okay. So basic pay we'll do when we are doing the payroll part.
Okay.
Okay. So can you go back? Go to info type 9. This I'm not doing now because we have to create the wage types. That is a payroll part. That for that we have to introduce you to several concepts.
Mm-hmm.
Now we go to info type 9. That is bank details.
Doesn't have.
Yeah, just create one record. Yeah, take any bank records.
First one.
Anything is okay. Anything is okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
in this bank details, what we do, we take the bank details of the employee. So bank detail can be your salary account, your current account, and so on. Let's say in any company, your salary goes into a saving accounts. That is your permanent account. But
Okay.
all your per diems or anything what you got extra goes to your current account. So this
Mm-hmm.
kind of details we can save it here. Here, what we have to give the same thing: postal address, bank key. Bank key is nothing but your which bank. Then you have to give your account number. There's something called IBAN number, international. Then there's some payment method. So there are different payment methods about. They can either give you check, they can give you cash, they can give you a bank transfer. Then also they mention the currency and the purpose. Purpose can be your salary payment, travel expense, and so on.
Yeah.
This part will touch. So in this we have to configure something called bank type and your bank key, account number. This is all things we have to configure. So this will touch when we are doing the payment. Okay.
Okay.
So there we'll create different kind of banks. We'll create different kind of bank keys or the account number. Like we create Axis Bank, we'll create ICC and so on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this will touch when we are doing the payment. Oh, can you go
Okay.
back? So now go to something called intro type 14, that is a recurrent payment and deduction.
So I enter 014 or 14.
Anything like you can enter 0014, you can enter
Okay.
014 or 14.
Okay.
So
Okay.
now this is info type called recurring payment and deduction. So this is a kind of your regular payment. So it can be your shift allowance. So every month you are working, that is a shift allowance, or it can be your let's say called tips. Like every month you are getting tip and all.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of payment, it requires a start date, end date. It requires a wage type because all the payments happen through wage types, right?
Yeah.
Then it requires an amount, and so this is how it is done. So for this we need to create a wage time, then assign you to input type 40. So this will cover this input when we are doing payroll. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Can you go back? So after this we'll go to info type 15. So that will be our last payroll thing, and then we have to start configuration again. So info type 15 is your additional payment. So that is a one-time payment. It can be your, let's say your bonus, which is a one-time payment which company can give and not give also. So then it can be your COVID related allowance and so on. So this also records wage type because any payment in SAP is done through wage type. Without wage type, there's nothing a payment possible. Then you enter your amount, then you enter the date of origin, the day on which that is paid. If you see, if you see there's nothing called start date end date because this is a one-time payment. Okay.
Okay.
So this is your info type 15. So this will cover when we are doing our payroll. Okay. So till now you have any doubt and all because after this you have to do the real configuration from info type 16, 19, 21, 22 and so on. Till now you have any doubts or I'm too fast, too slow, something like that?
No, I got all the info types and that we have to configure it in different like in payroll,
Yes.
everything.
Yeah. We can configure it now because because then I have to introduce what are the payroll concept, then I have to tell you, then we have to configure a payroll, and then we have to. So whenever we are doing a PA30, we'll test whatever we have created, what we did for PA, right?
Yeah.
So we'll create a payroll for additional payment, then we'll test it, and so that is how it will. Okay.
Okay.
So can you go back, and then we'll go to something called info type 16, that is contract element. First, okay. No. First, try to see whether there's a display or not. Then you try to play.
Okay.
Because creation will we do when we create actual configuration. Then only we'll. Okay, it's not there. Just create one. So if you see in this, there's start date, end date, there's header, there's person number, there's name, and so on. Then there's something called contractual regulation. What kind of contract? Is there a permanent contract, part-time contract, or there's a fixed contract, and so on. And also there's something called sideline jobs, like whether this job is a part-time kind of thing, that is a sideline job. Whether there's a competition clause, when we sign a like agreement, sometimes there's a competition clause, like let's say if you quit your company, you cannot join our competitor for another 6 months. So this kind of details are there. Then there's something called continued pay. So this is kind of like if you are like ill or fit, not fit, so that kind of payment is there. So this second portion is not important. It's not followed in India. So what is followed in India is called the third one, that is period. So where your probation period is entered, also your notice period, both notice for employee and employer, that is entered. And if you are working as an expat in India, then what is your work permit entry? So that is entered. Also we have something called initial entry. So that it is, so I'll tell you the concept of entry. Remember, we have something called reference person number. Let's say you are working in TCS, then you shifted to Tata Power. Okay, so you entered TCS already in some time, then you were hired again. There's a department from one company code to another company code, so you moved from TCS to Tata Power. So in that case, what was happened, your entry in Tata Group was already there. Correct? So that kind of detail is saved here. So let's say if you are now, this person Garu Sushma is part of Tata Powers now, but she was part of TCS, and so her initial entry will be for TCS. So it will be 01/01/2019-90 entry into the group. So you have to mention when it entry was done, and then you have to mention the corporation, that is TCS. Okay. So this part is, so now here what are things we configure? We configure something called contract type. We'll also configure period. Period is what? Nothing but your like notice period and all. So this two part we'll do. And there's a feature called contract. So we'll touch that thing also. So can you note on your notepad what three things we'll do in this?
Yeah.
So everything is there in the document. Just for your today's thing now, I'm just asking you to note in your notepad.
Yeah.
So we'll configure something called contract type. Then we'll configure something called notice period. And at last, we'll touch base on a feature called contract. Okay. Now, for configuration, where do we go?
So last one was the contract entry, right?
I didn't get you. Last one was contract.
First we create contract
type.
Then notice period.
Then we'll create notice period. Yeah. And third, we'll work on a feature called contract. CONTR.
Okay.
CONTR. This name is like this. So in this, we'll default a contract for a person. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we'll do the configuration. We'll create contract type, different contract type, and we'll create different notice period type. So what do we do when we do a configuration? Where do we go?
SPRO.
Okay. So can you go to SPRO?
So I'll leave this. Yeah.
Yeah, leave this side. Yeah. So now we'll again start with /n SPRO, right?
Yeah.
We'll always, like, the best practice is always to refresh screen.
Not on this screen.
SPRS screen you have to refresh, right? Yeah, this screen. This was the SPRS screen, right?
Yeah.
Slash in SPRO. So now contract element will be again in the same place: person administration, person management, and person administration.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here you will find something contractual and corporate agreement, right? Fourth tab.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So in this something you'll find as contract elements.
Yeah.
Okay, open that. So if you see the first thing, so we'll touch only two things. We'll touch first thing, that is contract type. We'll touch second thing, that is period of notice. So
Notice.
these are the two basic use
Okay.
things. Okay. So just click on contract type. So if you see there's n number of contracts, right? So now you
Yeah.
need to create your own contract.
Okay. So new one.
Yeah, either you, like what I said, either new one
Yeah.
or you can
Copy or new. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
always there are two
So,
options, either to copy or to create a.
okay. Mm.
So your contract code, you can give any code.
Contract type.
So if you click on
Fixed term.
fix means it's a contract. So it will be 2 years, 3 years, 4 months, something like that. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't click on that, that will be a full-time contract. You know, in full-time contract, like let's say you join as a full-time employee, your contract end date is not mentioned in the offer letter, right?
Yes. Yes.
But if you join as a contractual employee, you have a fixed term contract.
Yes.
So your 08, you want it as a full-time or you want it as a contract?
I think we can keep it fixed term also.
Okay, just keep fixed term. Click on that.
Okay.
Save it. So you created a contract called full fixed contract. Click on this, enter. Okay. Now,
Okay.
can you go back? So now we created something called contract type. Now we create something called notice period.
Okay.
So where is that for you? Where did you create? Contractual, right?
Yeah.
Uh, okay, go to that. Yeah, go to that. Okay. Now here we create something called notice period. So notice period, it can be daily, it can be anything. So you need to create one new notice period.
Notice period. Okay, it's 7 here.
Yeah, 07 is not there. So what do you want? Like 2 months, 1 month, 1 day, 3 day, 5 day, 6 day, anything like.
3 months. The notice period, right? It is.
Yeah. So enter something unique so that you can see on the screen, right?
Okay.
Like 3 months test, so that you know that this is your entry. 3 months space and test. This is just for your testing, whether what you have done or save it. So what we did, we created a contract type and we created a notice period. Now we'll do the testing. So for testing, where do we go?
This screen. Create contract element.
Yes. So go and refresh the screen again because you have configured something and it will take some time to come right. Okay. Don't go back. Always refresh. Slash and period. The more you refresh, more you'll follow. Yeah, P30. So more you refresh, the more T codes you'll remember. If you go back, you'll never remember these T codes.
Okay.
Now you have to create info type 16 just to check whether your thing is there in the system or not. No. You create, right? You're creating, you're testing something, right? So testing is always by creating. So can you check in the contract type what is there? Your contract is there or not?
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, contractual. Click on that. Is there? Okay. Now in notice period, can you check whether your notice period is there or not? ER notice period, EE notice period.
Yeah.
No, periods.
Yeah. Notice
Yeah.
period.
Click on that. What was the notice period you created?
3 months
test.
test.
Okay, so those things are there. Can you click on enter?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you did, when you did the configuration, you gave contract as fixed contract. So that is why you have to give valid until. If your contract was not fixed term, it will the valid until screen will not come. Are you getting what is happening?
Yeah.
So now you have to give valid until some date. So 2030 some 000101 2030. I'll just give today's date only.
Okay, today's date.
Give then 2030 0101 dot 01 2030. So this person has a contractual job and his contract is valid till 2030
30.
and his notice period is 3 months. Okay. Save it. Enter and save it. Whether this. Okay. Save it.
Okay.
So now whatever you configured, that is already in the system. So in contract element, we just configured two parts: contract type and notice period. Okay. Now there's a third part which we have to, that is called contract. Okay. So now for that, for to test feature, where do we go?
For testing, it's here only, right?
Yeah. But to check features, where do we go?
PE03.
Correct. So can you go? So there's a third screen open, right?
Yeah.
P03.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a feature called CONTR.
Okay.
Press enter. Just press enter. Press enter. So this will default your contract elements. So let's say you are a permanent employee, so your contract will be full time. For if you are a part-time employee, it will show your contractual and so on. Can you click on display? Okay, can you go on the first one, master data and time data? Can you open Molga? Can you go to what is Molga for India?
40.
Okay. Open the company code. So what company code we created? IN99.
99.
Yeah. Under that we created employee group. Two employee groups, right? Salaried, right?
Yeah.
Inside salary, what we created? We created two employee subgroup, right? What was that? 919293 something like that, right?
Full
We created
time,
full time, part time, and
yeah.
Okay. Can you open full time? So there's 01. Okay. Scroll down. Can you enter part time? 02. Can you enter 02? Okay. So now if we see, can you come to this configuration part? Yeah, the screen. Yeah. Yes. Can you go back? Go back again. Can you click on define contract types? Same place. So you saw something 01, that is unlimited. And on that the fixed term contract is not clicked, so that is unlimited. Then there's something called second contract type, that is fixed. Okay. So can you put this two screen on the same screen side by side so that we can see and understand what we have done? So if you see for full time it's 01. For full time employee it's always unlimited. For part time it's 02, that is limited. For interim is also 02. Okay. So now what you created 0. You created the 08, right? So can you go to 92 and change it to 08? You cannot change it because if you see, it's a display feature. You have to change it to change feature.
Okay.
Click on that class one. Beside one, pen and class. Yeah. Now it changed to process features. So now again you have to follow the same thing. Open master data, go to that Mongo. So you understood how the feature works.
Yeah.
Always there is a decision tree. So what kind of contract did you create? You created a fixed contract. That is a part time. So you can just assign it. Click on 02. Click on change. There's create, change, delete, right? No, beside that. Yeah.
Delete.
No, not this one. No. Why you want to delete? You want to change it, right?
Change it, yeah.
How do you? Yeah. So that is
this
no.
one.
This
No.
changes for the entire feature sheet.
Oh.
No, just change
okay.
it back. Can you change it back to? No. This is display. You cannot change anything. Yeah. Click on the beside one.
I clicked on this only.
Yeah. Click on that one.
Okay.
So this means we are changing the entire feature. What I am telling you to change the one component of the feature. So that will be something. If you see something create, change, delete, right? There are three icons. This is create. This you're creating a node. Then you are changing a node. Then you are deleting it. Okay. So that you have to do.
Change one.
Yeah, but you have to highlight it and then you have to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, highlight on this and then click on change. So now what you created something called 08, right? Put 08. Click on transfer.
Yeah.
Activate it.
Okay.
So understood how this is the feature which is for contract.
Okay.
So this part we have done. So now we go to some info type called info type 19. So to take info type, which screen we have to go?
Info type this screen. P30.
30, yeah. So in that you have to put in as info type as 19. So your info type 19 is called monitoring of tasks. Can you click on the enter? So this is monitoring task. This is just kind of reminder to the HR at this time you have to do that and so on. Okay. So can you check whether there's some record or not? Otherwise you have to create a record.
No.
Okay. So what we'll do?
Create.
We'll go ahead and create. So if you see in this, there's a header. Then there's a body. In body, there's something called task. There's something called reminder. There's something called comments. What is task? Your task type can be different kind of reminders. Then there's a date of the task where the task will take place. And there's something called processing indicator. It's a new task or it's a reminder of the same task and so on. And then they say something called reminder, which day you want to be reminded. What is the lead and follow-up time? Like you want to remind. So lead and follow-up time means you want to reminder 1 hour, 1 hour. This kind of snooze button on the alarm, right? You put a snooze for 5 minutes, 5 minutes. So that is how lead and follow-up time works.
Okay.
So if you see in this, can you click on task type? Task type.
Task. Yeah. Task.
So this is a different kind of reminders. It can be a drug screening, it can be provision and so on. So this is the thing what we configured in the system. So in the system, we only configure task type. So task type is nothing but kind of reminder you want for yourself. So now we'll create something called task type. So for that you have to go to, so you understand info type 19. Info type 19 is just a reminder. Let's say I am a new
Remind.
employee, I joined
Okay.
your organization. So I joined your organization, so you need to remind us. So you need a reminder for you can be bank details. So you will
Okay.
enter a task type bank details. You select a date of task, which will be 1 day or 2 day before the payroll,
Hmm.
and then you will give your assignment a reminder, and that's it. So
Okay.
now we'll go and configure a time task type. So for configuration, where do we go?
For SPRO.
Yes. So just go and refresh your screen there. How do we refresh our screen? Slash and right.
Hmm. N/N SPRO.
Hmm. Now it will look like a nuisance, like every time you're putting slash n, but later on when you join the project, it is a very good practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same place, personal management, personal administration. That will be the common node for all the configuration.
Hmm. Screen is very slow. Personal administration, right?
Correct. Then there's something called evaluation basis, right? Can you click on that? Then there's something called monitoring of tasks. Then that is where we have to do the configuration. Hello. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So in this monitoring task, what is there? Determine task type.
Determine task.
Can you click on that? So this is how where we create different type of tasks. So if you see, task type is also known as deadline type. So this is a kind of reminder. So now you have to go and you have to create a new reminder for yourself.
Okay.
So in the actual project, if you set this reminder, it sends you mails also.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have to create a new task type. Can you go ahead and create a new task type?
So which one? 20.
17, yeah, no, 20 is not there. Like maybe 20, there's something 15,
Yeah.
16, 17. 15, 16 you can use, right?
Yeah, 16.
Okay. So what kind of reminder or task type you want?
So I'll put appraisal.
Yeah, we can put appraisal. So this means this is like every time they will send you that this is appraisal task and so on.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the lead time you want? Can you go to the lead time? Yeah. 10 days, 30 days, you want to remind that kind of thing you are doing.
Yeah. 10.
10 days. Go to the
Mm.
second thing. It will give you months, days, or something like that. Click on that. So you want to be
Days.
reminded in days, week, month, year, something like that. That's it. Now you can
Okay.
save it. So you'll get a reminder for appraisal in 10 days.
10 days before. Yeah.
Okay. Before and after, that is done in info type 19 you have to set, not here. Getting my point, right? Here is just we are creating
Okay.
something reminder, and 10 days interval it can give you
Mm-hmm.
before also, it can give you after also. Okay. Now this
Okay.
configuration done. Now we'll do something called testing.
Mm-hmm.
So for testing, where do we go?
PA 30.
Okay. Can you go there and refresh? Always refresh.
This info type is 19, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
So what was your task type which you created?
Task type was appraisal test.
Okay, so that is there.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the desktop task? Like what date you like is the actual day of, so that can depend from person to person, right?
Yeah. So today's date I can put date of task.
Anything. This is a master data. You
Yeah.
can enter any data.
Yeah.
Okay.
No task.
And what is this is new task? Can you click on processing? So this is a new task or task in progress or task
Yeah.
completed. So this is a new task, right?
No task. Okay.
Okay. Now what is your reminder date? So 16 is the appraisal. So when you want to be reminded? After the appraisal or before the appraisal?
Before the appraisal.
So that you have to put up before date.
Mm, yeah. Reminder date.
Reminder date is there.
Okay. So before 10 days, right?
Yeah. Anything like the reminder days is anything. Only what system it will do, it will give you 10 days kind of thing reminder.
Okay. Okay. So okay.
Can you click enter? Okay, reminder date is after this. You have to reminder is
Okay.
always
This is
before
the
this.
deadline date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do decrease increase the deadline. Give it as something like in August, September, something.
Yeah. Mm,
Can you press enter? So if you see,
okay.
system does a check. So your
Yeah.
reminder date is always before the actual task date. Also, you
Mm-hmm.
can mention the comments there. Let's say I want to on 17 is the actual appraisal of some person, some kind of content
Yeah.
comment you can mention. Okay.
Okay.
So this
Okay.
is how it is done. Okay. Can you
Mm,
click on lead or something like that? Yeah.
yeah.
So this is again a lead you are given. Like this lead was for 10 days, right? Can you put 10
Yeah.
there? So 24th, then on 4th, then on 14th. So it will keep on giving you a reminder. Yeah. Can
Mm-hmm.
you go to this and can you put this?
Okay. So days.
Yeah. Can you create enter? Oh, this is automatically. So it will give you on 10 days, 10 days. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So if you see by default, the system took 10 days. If you see, when you give 10
Yeah.
days,
Yeah.
17 and 7. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now can you save it? So this is how monitoring of task works. It's kind of a reminder for you.
Okay.
So you configure reminder for 10 days. It will give you a reminder before 10 days and so
Okay. Mm.
on. Okay. So now we are done info type 19. Now we'll touch something called info type 21. That is family and details. So
21.
yeah, 21. Sorry.
Yeah.
So in 21, what we do, we create details for different family type. It can be a son, daughter, husband, wife, spouse, mother, father, ex, partner, and so on.
Mm.
And we give all the details. So this is kind of personal data for family members.
Hmm.
So this person has any record for family independent? No. Then you
No. No.
create one data. We'll not create. We'll just see the fields, and then we'll create our own, and then we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see, I created a something called partner.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one.
You can just take this. We just want to see the fields.
Mm. Okay.
So now you see, it's again the first name, last name, your birth name, initial name, and all the same thing as gender, date of birth, nationality, and so on. So this is
Mm-hmm.
similar like info type 2, but this is detail for an employees dependent.
Mm.
So now in this only configuration part we do is we can configure different type of family member. family members. Other than that, all is data entry. Data entry we don't configure. We only configure configuration entry. So in this only configuration, what we do is family members. So
Okay.
now we have to create a new family members. So can you go to the configuration where we do the configuration?
SPRO.
Okay, great.
This was,
This was your earlier one, right? So you
yeah,
can
yeah.
go back or you can put slash. So again, the same thing: personal management, personal administration, and there from there we'll see what is the detail.
Administration. Um,
It's there only.
yeah,
No, this is usual thing. There is
yeah,
nothing.
yeah, sorry.
Now in this, what is your family data? Is this it is a kind of personal data? So can you click on personal data? So personal data is on the fourth tab, not the second tab. It's on the fourth tab.
Fourth.
So did you? Yeah. So personal data is on the fourth tab, not second tab.
Fourth tab. This is the
Yeah.
personal data, right? After basic settings.
No, that is not personal data. That is contract. The fourth tab is the personal data.
This one,
Yeah.
contractual and
Yeah.
corporate
No,
agreement.
that is written personal data, right?
No. Which one you're talking
Okay,
about?
I'm just
I
confusing you.
mean,
So second,
personal, like, yeah.
yeah, I'm just confusing. Just want to see like what is your attention span.
No, no,
Okay,
I'm just
so
actually confused seeing the screen, all the names I was finding where the personal
no, this
administration was.
this is a kind of exercise that you just to like bring your attention. Like sometimes it's lost because every time you see the same screen again and again, so the attention span for any person decreases. That is a very
Yeah,
logical thing. Okay,
yeah, yeah.
so now per family detail is type of personal data. So if you see in personal data, did you see anything family something like that? Can you see anything in
Family.
family
Yeah.
detail? Yeah, click on that. Now in this family details, what we configure is something called define possible family members. So that is a different type of families. So can you click on that? Other than that, we don't configure anything. Yeah, click on that. Yeah. So this is where we create different kind of subtypes, that is different family types. Also, we give them a time constraint or something like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have to create a new family dependent. That can be anything. Like let's say something like adopted child can be one type of family detail, right?
Yeah, right.
So can you create a new
Um,
entry?
so the number
New entry or
family.
copy, anything.
Okay. Okay.
You want to copy?
I'll
Okay.
create new.
Anything. I told you anything is okay. Like whichever makes you feel confident, you can do that.
Okay. Actually, I didn't know the number to put here.
Yeah, yeah. Just go back. Cancel. You have to cancel. Yeah. Put two, I guess. And the two is already there. You can put 17, I guess.
Yeah, 17.
So
Okay.
what can your time constraint? Let's give a time constraint three. So your
Yeah.
father and mother. So I'll give you a very good example. Your father and
Mm-hmm.
mother are time constraint one because they cannot change. Your
Yeah.
spouse and kids, your spouse is time constraint two because he can change or he can overlap. But your child,
Mm.
it's like no gap, nothing. Like you can have infinite. So it will be in like
Mm.
time constraint three.
3. Okay.
Yes, and that's it. Now you can say enter. Yeah. Save.
Okay.
Now we'll test whether we have adopted person or not. adopted child in the subtype or not. So where do we test?
Yeah, family member.
Yes.
I'll refresh this first.
Yes, yeah, always refresh.
Info type.
So what is family? What info type number is for family?
Forgot info type.
21.
Okay, 21.
So that is why I'm telling you to type. Otherwise, we can also find the info type name and we can select it. But always type, because this, like, they'll keep you asking what are the basic info types. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
tell 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, like. Okay.
Yeah.
Now create a info type 21.
Hmm. The one which we created. So we have to create it right now, right?
Yeah, you have to create it. But what did you configure? Yeah, right.
17.
Yes. So now you have to give the start date for, like, start date, end date, and all those details. Right? Now what is the stick? You have to give the first name.
Mm. Entry form.
Then you have to give date of birth.
Yeah.
Presenter.
That's it.
Yeah, presenter. Now you have to save it. That's so. This is, we created some family member called adopted child,
Mm.
and we tested it. It's working fine. So can you go ahead and save it?
Yeah.
Okay. So till now, any confusion, doubt, question? Yes, no, maybe.
No, I'm clear with it.
Okay. So this personal administration, a lot of donkey work kind of thing. You get to keep on creating entries, like n number of entries.
Yeah.
But these things are very simple, except, I guess, except personal action. Other configurations are very simple. Personal action, you have to keep on practicing to get the.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Okay.
first one
Yeah.
which we did. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So now we have done, that is 21, that is family independent. Now we have something called 22, that is called education. So can we check info type 22 on P30 screen?
No,
Yeah, great. Yeah. So in info type 22, what happens? There's header, there's user name, your personal number, that is the employee number, your start date, end date. And your start date, end date is like education. Let's say you did your BTech in 2001, you passed on in 2005. So your start date will be 2001 and end date will be 2005.
mm.
Then your educational institution, what was that thing? What was the education? What was it you in that category? Whether it was engineering, life science, so on. What was the
Mm-hmm.
institutional name? What is your country? What is your certificate? Whether you got diploma certificate, graduate certificate, so on. What is your duration of course? What is your final grade? It is TCPA or something grading. What is the branch of study? Whether it's engineering, within engineering, what is the branch study to? Within engineering, it can be life science, so on. What was your course name? If there was a course appraisal, what was the course fees? So this all details you can. So if you see course name, appraisal name, fees, then there's something called institution location. So these are all entry, data entry. Other
Yeah.
than that, education establishment, education training, this is all what we configure in the system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So we have to configure everything in the system so that it can work.
Yeah.
So for configuration, where do we go?
SPRO.
Yes. Same, person management, person administration.
Yeah.
Okay.
Administration.
So in this, you have to find something like what is your education? This is part of your qualification, right? So that will come on the employee qualification.
Yeah. First, mm,
There will be
my
something called person.
qualification.
Correct, correct,
Yeah.
correct. So
Yeah.
in that thing, there's something called education and training. So that is where you create all your education. So this is where you have to configure everything from
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 nodes you have to create. So this is
Okay.
what you have to configure. So you can start from top to bottom. One by one,
Okay.
you have to configure everything.
Create education. Type.
Hmm.
Okay.
So this can give primary, secondary, depending on what your education type is. So
Mm-hmm.
can I do one thing? 5 minutes I'll go out of my system. Can you create all these
Yeah.
10 nodes? That will be easy for
Okay.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Can do that.
Just apply. I'll take a 5 minutes break and you just complete this thing.
Yeah. Fine.
Make sure you complete like make every one entry for all the nodes. Okay. Any type of
Yeah.
entry, just an entry so that you can remember if it's
Mm.
configured or not. Okay.
Okay.
No. No.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm,
Wherever you will find something configuration very complicated, always
yeah.
okay. If you see ENT, it's already configured.
I
So
okay.
ENT you
So
have to
I'm
pick
not
it
able
from
to enter the name over here.
no. Can you go back?
Yeah.
Go back. Go back again. Okay. Click on no.
Okay.
When you go back. So what you are creating now? Now you have already created education and training. You have created education categories. Now what you are assigning? You are assigning education training to education categories. Getting my point?
Okay.
So for that,
Okay.
just you need to enter the value because that is already saved. What you are doing? You are doing linkage. Remember
Mm,
when we created personal area, then we created company code. Later on, we were doing only linkage. Okay. So can you click on new entries?
okay.
So this is your training and education. Can you click on F4? So
Mm,
what did you create?
this
Business.
psychology.
Okay, click on that. Now go to ENT category. ENT categories. That is the third tab. Leave the name. Leave the name. The system will copy that automatically.
Okay.
Click on yeah. What you create? Business
This
admin
one.
test. Correct. Double click on that. So
Okay.
because this is already configured, you are just doing it. That is why you're not able to enter the value and all. Got my
Mm-hmm.
point?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Save it.
Okay.
So now, are you feeling confident in doing work? Like I'm not guiding you now. Like now, I want you to do some because this is a very basic one.
Yeah. 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 So
So this no need of configuring because in India, national, public, private, there's nothing like.
okay.
Or you can mention something like homeschool, parallel education.
Okay.
In India, we have something called home education. So these people, like many celebrities now, if you see, they are part of homeschool. In India, it's not recognized. So what
Mm-hmm.
happens? Some parents they group together, they find one school and they teach people. So
Yeah.
there's nothing
Yeah.
examination, there's nothing like that. But in
Mm-hmm.
the end, to get a job, you have to do a proper degree course and all. That's it. So, but
Yeah.
in US and Nordic countries, home school is also part of the curriculum.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there, once you're does get done all the education, there's a board which takes the test and give you a degree.
Okay. Mm, I created professional. Yeah. 28. So here I have to enter all the details.
Yeah, yeah. So here, what you're doing, you will doing the linkage. No, this is Japan. This is not record for. This is not India. Can you go back?
No,
You
but
see?
I had put 28 only.
No, no, no. This is for Japan configuration. This is not for India.
Okay.
You have to come out of that.
Um, shall go back again?
No, no. Done. Can you scroll down? So no, everything is done. Like these are the important one. Other thing you can use
Okay.
the other things. That's not. The other things, there are a lot of entries, so your entry will come within that one. So now you have
Mm,
configured everything. Now we'll go
mm.
back and we'll see whether that thing is working or not.
622.
Now, give your start date, end date. You understand the concept of start date, end date. When your execution started.
Yeah. So 20. Okay.
Now, whatever entries you have done, you have to just in that.
Yeah. Mm.
You created professional test, right? 2018,
Yes,
something
yes,
like that.
yes. Yeah, 20. So this number, how do I identify?
Which number did you give?
Uh,
The text missing. This is a problem with the training server. This. Can you go back? Can you go to the SPR one? Generally, there's a description also. Can you click on this? Is the second tab?
yeah.
What was your entry?
This psychology 007.
And yes. So how many zeros? 7 zeros and 7.
Okay. I put manually.
Yeah, you can put manually. No problem. Just put 0 0. No, it will not
I'm
take
not able
manually.
to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just click on that. Try to find 0 0 0. Where is this one?
Yeah, it's there.
Okay. Or maybe some person has entered that also as a code.
Oh, yeah.
It, it, it will take by default. It will take
Okay.
by default. The
I
system will
enter.
take.
Okay.
Hmm.
Uh, no, it's not taking it.
Mm-hmm. No, that is okay. Leave it, leave it. When you
Okay.
press enter, it will automatically change. Okay? This is how it takes.
Okay. Mm. Location, I have to put here.
Hmm?
Location.
This is a user entry. User entry. Whatever institution you can use. Pune University, Pune Engineering College.
Okay. I I should write it or not?
You have to write. Just mention. So institution location you can mention. Certificate you can put. You are talking about institute and location, right? You can put Pune Engineering College or Pune University, comma Pune.
Mm-hmm. So should I save? That's it.
Yes, yes. Press enter. Always press enter just to see what enter. No, you have to put certificate also. Certificate is the mandatory.
Okay. No living certificate available.
Click on that. I think you need to configure that. Click on that
Certificate.
F4. Click on F4. No.
Yeah.
This one. Click on certificate. See what all entries are there. Click on yes. Enter. Okay. Now you have to do the certificate configuration also. For that. You go
Okay.
back.
This one, education certificate.
Yes.
Mm, 9.
Zero name.
I put completed.
Yeah, something like that. Can you go back?
Okay.
Go back. There is a linkage missing, I guess, something like that. Can you go back again? Okay. Can you
This
click
one?
on determine? Yeah, correct. So this is what you have to link here.
Okay.
Okay. So here you have to
Mm.
take new entry.
Mm.
You understood? Like you create a
Yeah.
course, but for that you have to give the certification also. So what was
Mm-hmm.
the education? It was.
But
It's
it's
not.
not coming.
What was this type? Okay.
Establishment is 28, right?
No, no. This 28 for
Mm.
certificate name. Can you put 28 in the certificate? And this was psychology, right? What was that? What you created was completed,
This
right?
one completed.
A test. Okay, click on 9 and go to education and establishment. Click on F4.
No values.
Okay, can you go back? Maybe this is a false no. Can you cancel this?
Mm.
Can you scroll down? What showing is this? Okay, do one thing. Copy one of the thing. Copy one in one. Okay. Yes. Put this as yeah. Try this.
No
Uh,
values.
remember what was the education type? I think you have to directly enter
Mm.
that 07, right? Put 07.
Education. Yeah.
It was 07, right?
No, it was 28, I think. The
Okay, then
one
put
which we are linking.
no that okay. Cancel this one. Cancel this one. We'll get the details and then click on yes. Go back. Go back. It will not come because you have not linked. Click on no. Okay, can you go to education training? The second tab.
Yeah.
It was 707. Okay, go back.
This
Yeah,
007.
correct, correct. Can you go back? I guess you need to add to your category. Click on that. Can you click on category? It was triple and 004. Okay, go back. Okay, now click on that. Determine permissible entries for education type. No, no, not this one. The thing what we were configuring.
Okay, this one.
Yes, yes. Now copy any one of them. Put as 70, 70 and 7.
It's not taking.
One more than 2.
It's not taking.
Okay. Can you do a F1? Click on F1. Click F1. You have
Yeah.
F1 in your Mac.
No, my F1 is taking me somewhere. Like,
Okay, okay. Okay.
yeah.
You go to P30. Put space in person number. It will give you automatically that. Yeah. Take input of 22. Like
Okay.
go to certificates first. Can you go to certificates first?
Certificates.
The
Yeah.
problem where it was coming. Yes. Click F4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. What was the entry you created? Can you scroll down? professional, something like
20. Oh, it is.
or something like professional.
Yeah,
Do one thing.
professional.
Good. Can you go last? Go to last. Can you click on this one? U5. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah. Double click on that. Okay. Now create all your entries from the start.
Um,
If you put space, it will show you the last entry what you want to create.
Space where?
Space. Yeah, just put a space here at the end. Put space.
Okay, the last.
Yes. Always put space. It will give you the last.
Okay. So I searched the one which I created, or
Yeah. This one. Yeah. 20.
hmm,
Leave that thing. That is, if you see, that will automatically come. Do this as Pune. Can you press enter? Just press enter. Don't do anything. Not possible for according to. Okay. Can you go to SM30 slash O SM30? This was SM30. Put T517 T517A. Click on find maintenance dialog. No, there's on top, there's something called maintenance dialog. Yes. Click on that again. Okay. Click on the second one. Yeah. Double click. Yeah. Now click on maintain. Okay. Okay. Go to new entries. That is 28. 28 was your thing, right?
yeah, I'll check.
Okay, 28. Just
I cannot
put the.
find.
Yeah, it's okay. Give it 28. Now put
Hmm.
the certificate. What is your certificate? Click on that. Click on F2. What was your
Completed.
certificate? Yes.
This one.
Enter. Just press enter. Save it.
Yeah. Hmm.
Now go to your P30 screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you yes? Can you change this? Yes.
This one.
Yes. Can you click on that? Yeah.
Yeah.
You understood what was the problem? The
Yeah.
SPRO note, and that we have to like it was not taking the values. Okay. Now save it.
Okay.
Now press enter. Okay. So now our info type 22 works. Can you go fast to SPRO and education? And go to the education node. Okay.
This one.
Personal management.
Ah. Hmm.
Yeah. Employee qualification, something like that.
Yeah. Employee
Yes.
qualification.
Yes. Click on education
Training.
and training. Click on this one. Permissible certificate for education type. Yeah, click on yes. Go to click on position. There is something called position. Yes. Can you put 28 there? Enter.
Enter.
Yeah, enter. So this is what we created. What we do, we went to the table directly and we created, because this thing they were showing some problem. I think the same problem happened there also. Like we have to manually enter. The effort didn't work.
Okay.
Understood what was wrong? Effort didn't work. So this is what we are configured.
Okay.
So 22 is done. Then we'll go to 20. Can you go to PA30? We'll go to 27. Now we're a little fast. Half an hour we have to complete around 5.
Yeah.
Then this slash. Because tomorrow I want to start with organization management. So
yeah.
This. Go to 27.
27.
Yeah, 27. So 27 is something called cost distribution. So here we enter. Can you create this value?
Yeah.
So this is where. So this configuration we'll do in payroll part. So I just want to explain you. So in this, you have to. There's something called header. There's something called distribution. Can you click on distribution? There's after yes. Do I have 4? So if you see, there are a lot of things. So you can enter your cost center. So cost center is what unit where all your details for salary and any cost effective part is there. So you can enter different kind of distribution. It can be a salary related, it can be travel related, it can be planned effort, future or proposed effort, and so on. So after you do that thing, then you have to enter the cost center. What is the cost center? What is the company code? So this is how whatever salary you incur, whatever cost you incur to the company, all is named in cost distribution. So this will do when we are doing payroll.
Okay.
So can we go to info type 40 now? So info type 40 is object on loans. So let's say you borrow a pen from office, laptop from office, mouse from office. So this object and loans are created for you. So whenever you leave the company, you have to get. Can you go back? I think something is created for this. Can you go back? Can you just click display and see? No, sorry. So here, if you see, there's started ended. There's object and loan. Object and loan can be pen, pencil, mouse, laptop bag, anything. What is the amount of numbers you have taken? What is the unit? What is the loan object number? Sometimes when you give your laptop, there's ID number and so on. Then you can enter the comments also. So in this thing, we configure only one part, because if you see other part, the user entry, only one part we configure, that is object on loans. So configure for configuration, where do we go now? Can you go to SPL? Yeah, please.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, actually this connection is getting lost.
Slash in SPL.
Yeah.
Okay, same place, personal management, personal administration.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this something you see evaluation basis, something like that.
Evaluation basis, yeah.
Or something like contractual, something like that. Contractual and corporate affairs. Yes, contractual. Click on that.
Okay.
Now you'll see something called objects on loan.
Yeah.
Yes, click on that. Now, what we do? We create define objects on loan. Can you click on that?
Yeah.
So here we'll configure what all loans you can give to. You can give BlackBerry, laptop, and so on. So just create a new
Mhm.
object which you, so you understand the concept of object on loans.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
company gives you, but later it wants whenever you.
Okay. Yeah.
So you need to create a
Okay.
new entry.
Mm,
Laptop test because there's already a, yeah, great.
yeah.
Can
One laptop is there.
can you save it and test?
Mm,
Now we'll test it. Can you go to your PA30 screen?
yeah.
Yeah. Here it will not come. You have to refresh it. Slash in. Slash in was not there. Still, you have to refresh your screen. Otherwise, it will not come. When you go back, the screen does not refresh. Slash in, not any, just not any.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If you go back, the screen does not refresh. So that is why you need
Right.
to.
Okay.
Info type 40 was your object unknowns.
40. Yeah. I have to enter the date, right?
Yeah, any date. Just take today's.
Mm,
The end date as 18/06/2021 something or 31/12/99 anything.
okay. Mm,
Hmm.
yeah.
Now you have to enter how much amount. Like you have taken one amount, how many? So one
Okay.
in this
One
one, and then go to unit. You have to go to unit. There's
unit.
numbered and then yeah, the next one yes. Yeah, do an F2. So
Okay.
pieces, how many pieces you took? And this loan is like a ID. You know, in the laptop there's ID like IT
Mm-hmm.
asset number, asset number. So you can just write it's a user entry XYZ.
Mm,
Okay, save it. That's it. So your object on one is done.
okay. Fine.
Okay. So now we go to some info type called 41, that is date specification.
Yeah.
Yeah. So date section, can you see this value or we have to create?
No.
Then we'll create. So date specification is kind of important date in our organization. It can be your start date, it can be your first salary date, it can be your last date, it can be your payroll date and all. So this is a different kind of date specification. So you
Mm-hmm.
have seen in InfoType 19 you set reminders, right?
Yeah.
So this date description is like you put a date. Can you go to date type? Can you click on date type? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Click on F2. So this is kind of your dates. So it can be your first working day, last working day. So this is also kind of reminder which HRD keeps, and based on
Mm-hmm.
that you create a reminder for you in InfoType 19. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So you understand date specification is the actual date when
Yeah.
you like first working day, first salary day, first check day, first when
Okay.
you got a laptop, first when you had a kid. So that kind of dates
The
are there.
dates. Yeah.
That those things are called date types.
Mm-hmm.
So now we'll configure one date type. Can you cross that one? So in this, there's something called date type which we have to configure, and so there's something called date which you have to enter it manually. So can
Okay.
you go back in this? No need of configuring. Go back. Go back.
This
Okay.
only, right?
No, no. This also you can go back. Now we have to configure the value, right? For configuration, what
Yeah.
we do?
XPR.
Yeah. Slash in.
Mm,
Yeah. Same thing. Personal management, personal administration.
So, actually wanted to ask that if there are many configuration to be done, so we every time have to refresh the screen and then only do
Is
the.
yeah, it's always the best practice. Whenever you refresh, that data kicks in the database layer. So that is
Okay.
why refresh is required. It's always like it's not a possibility. Like let's say we go in the project and they use a very good hardware and all, so the data automatic refreshes.
Okay.
But it's always the best practice to click on refresh.
Hmm.
So we have to enter in a note something called evaluation basis.
Evaluation.
Then you will find
Yeah.
something called date specification. Before that, you notice something? There was something called monitoring of task, which was a kind
Yeah.
of reminder. Okay. So now we'll
Yeah.
open
Yeah.
date specification.
Mm-hmm. Define date.
Yes. So now we'll create a new date. So you can type
Mm.
any you have to create a new date type.
Uh, After 11, I create 12. 12.
So what kind of
Mm,
date type you want?
mm, 10 year.
Yeah, 10-year can be one thing. Yeah, good one. Okay. And that's it. Date indicator you can. That's not.
Okay.
Now you have to save it.
Okay.
So now we'll test it
Yeah.
whether this is there or not.
Mm,
Slash.
Ash and Iris. Okay. 27.
Date specification was 41.
Okay. 41.
Just check your date type.
10 year.
Yes, correct. No, you can put as today's date something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you save it?
It's working slow again.
No problem. Just take it.
Yeah.
So now this is how you save your date
Mm,
type, date specification and date type. Now the last info type for us is communication. So communication is where email ID, phone number, all kind of data are saved. So
mm-hmm.
can you go to info tab and can you click on 105?
Yeah.
Okay. If there's some record or you can you check if there's some record?
Um,
No. Just create one record. So it will ask you what kind of communication. It can be your email ID. It can be your SAP
mm-hmm.
ID. If you see the 001 is your SAP ID. It
Mm-hmm.
can be your RSA token ID. It can be your LinkedIn ID. Anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what we'll do? Take any one random. Let's say take email ID 0010.
Mm.
Okay. And then
I'll choose one.
yeah,
Hello.
you just choose one email ID. Yeah, please choose email ID. Hello.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The system is very slow.
Yeah. I can.
So here you have to enter your email ID and that's it. So
Mm,
now here what we configure something called communication type. So communication type is the only thing we configure. Okay. So for configuration, where do we go?
Okay.
Hmm. So for configuration time, what we do, just start those steps and then
Validation. No, this is communication.
yes. Did you see communication? Yes. So this is where we create your different kind of communication time. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I can hear you now.
Hello. Actually, your voice is not clear. Hello. Hello.
Now is better.
Hello.
Now is better.
Hello. Sharik, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Nikita.
Yeah. I press on create.
Yeah, I just create. Yes.
Create. Yeah.
So here you can enter different kind of subtypes. So you can create a new entry. Let's say it can be, it should be 0040. We'll enter for new one, and it will be Instagram ID, something like
Okay. 040.
that. 0040. Yes.
Instagram.
Yeah, like any kind of ID. So this is used for all type of communication. You can have your Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, your email ID, phone
Okay.
number, fax number, BlackBerry number,
Okay.
anything. Time constraint. You have to give time constraint 3. Time constraint, because this is a subtype. It will also have a time constraint. Save it.
Yeah.
So now we created some communication type as Instagram. Now we'll test it whether that is configured in the system or not.
Okay. So here only,
No,
right?
no. You have to. Yeah,
Refresh
yeah.
it.
It's all. Yeah. You can. No, that was 105.
105. Yeah.
Yes, correct. 105. Great. Define Instagram.
Mm. Mm. It's, it was Instagram, right?
Yes, correct. 0040.
Zero.
Double click on that. It will take.